To the Prime Minister, Goldstein constituents and other Australians tell me they want all gambling ads banned, yet it's been reported that you're planning only a partial ban. Rod Glover, husband of the late Peter Murphy, said today, quote, "Her main argument is really simple. In a really hard trade-off, you've got to put people first and think about what kind of future we want to create." Prime Minister, will you reconsider your reported position and honour Peter's legacy by banning all gambling ads?
Give the call to the Prime Minister.
I thank the member for Goldstein for her question. There's a fair bit of hypothetical in there about what our alleged position was. But we are working through these issues, and the government has made it very clear that the status quo regarding the saturation of gambling advertising, particularly where children are exposed to it, is untenable. The Minister for Communications and the Minister for Social Services are getting on with tackling gambling harm comprehensively. And we're doing that in a way that will ensure that there aren't unintended consequences of it. In today's world, where people have access to information instantaneously, including the member for Goldstein and others in this chamber here, on devices that they have, where things can just pop up and be received, we want to make sure that any measures do not have unintended consequences, and we're taking a comprehensive approach, recognising that this is a complex issue. The government has already delivered the most significant reform that has been done, more in 2 years than those opposite did in the previous 9. We have delivered the most significant online wagering harm reduction initiatives of the past decade. We've established mandatory custom ID verification for online wagering. We've banned the use of credit cards for online wagering. We've forced online wagering companies to send their customers monthly activity statements outlining wins and losses. We've introduced new evidence-based taglines that people will have seen, very different from just gamble responsibly that used to be there. We've provided direct funding for specialist financial counselling to support people affected by problem gambling. We've introduced nationally consistent staff training. We've introduced new minimum classifications for video games, and we've launched BetStop, the National Self-Exclusion Register. I have every respect for Rod Glover. He's been a friend of mine for a long period of time. He's a great Australian who has had to deal with the tragedy of losing his life partner, something that is felt by so many people in this chamber, not just on this side of the chamber, I acknowledge. I do note some people who, like John Howard, entering this debate, if only he'd been in a position to have some influence over public policy over this time. But the entire time that he occupied my seat, he did absolutely nothing about any of these issues.
Time has concluded. Order.